Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Okay, what's up people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing good. Welcome back. Like always guys, if you do enjoy the streams and find them useful, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't done already. Do really appreciate it. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing good. Like always, I do have my link to my Telegram at the top of the chat where I share my ideas, videos, watch this for the week, so feel free to check that out if you want to. And also if you are looking for a broker, I do have my affiliate link to IC Markets. Feel free to check them out if you want to as well. But yeah guys, welcome back. Tony Go, what is up? Welcome to the stream. Moch, as always, good to have you in the stream. Sanjay, what's up? Hope you're doing good. Dissy, what's up? Hope you're doing good as well. I'm doing great. Anus, what's up? Hope you're doing good. Technical analysis, hope you're doing good. Welcome to the stream. Ryan, what is up? Miko, we have a buy opportunity on pound yen and euro yen. Yeah, I'm looking at euro yen. Pound yen's not quite at my area yet, but I'm looking at euro yen. But I'm a little bit cautious with euro yen buy because of the interest rate decision in a few hours. So it's one that is testing a good level. I'll go take a look in a second. But yeah, you're right. We'll go take a look at euro yen. Two Pad, what is up? Hope you're doing good. This is becoming a regular event. What are you talking about, the stream? Or the stream is pretty regular, to be fair. Should we get in now? Okay, we'll go take a look. Yeah, GL30, CAD JPY looking to buy. Okay, we'll go take a look at them as well. So yeah, euro yen I'm looking at personally as well. It's coming to a very nice area of prior resistance turn support. These are one of the areas I was looking at. I had kind of two areas I'm looking at to buy from. For euro yen, and I'm also looking at this overall uptrend which we have connecting the highs and lows together. You can see the market's coming to a pretty nice area, prior resistance turn support, and also the diagonal support resistance of the trend line as well. And I believe we're coming to the 0.618 as well of the Fibonacci from the low to the high. So yeah, coming to that nice little zone there. So yeah, euro yen for me is in a fantastic place for a bounce, higher time frames as well. We do have an incredible bullish trend. We're at the highs, which is a little bit exposed up there, but nonetheless, the market's still incredibly bullish across pretty much all time frames. So I'll be expecting a bounce at the upside for euro yen. But like I said, we've got the interest rates coming out. There is no real entry signal to enter on the hourly, which is the time frame I'll be using to enter the trade. There is no entry signal here on the hourly, so I need to see at least a good shift momentum. Give me a strong bullish engulf. Show me that okay, the buyers are stepping into the market, and then I'll consider looking to enter the trade. But even with that said, if I quickly go take a look at the old economic calendar, we've got ECB interest rate decision at 1:15, if my memory serves me correctly. We've got euro interest rate decision at 1:15, which is in about 3 hours time. So realistically, I'm not going to get this trade to break even in 3 hours time. It will take at least an hour from now to get the entry candle, if we do get the entry candle. So by the time I'm entering the trade, it'll be 2 hours into a major news announcements for euro. So it might not be the smartest decision to enter now, but maybe give it an hour after the ECB interest rate decision has come out, and we still get a decent entry candle there. Maybe our stop loss is a little bit bigger because of a few wicks. Then that will be a decent opportunity, because then after we've waited for the news to settle, wait to see what type of candlesticks we're getting, and then we can pounce on that trade if we're still in the same area, of course. But if you buy the market now, you run the risk of obviously getting taken out by the news, and that's pretty much it. And there's no entry confirmation either. So of course, if you're looking at the lower time frames, there's still not much there on the 30-minute either. So yeah, I'll be waiting for at least an hourly bullish engulfing, and I'll probably be waiting after the news to enter anyway. So we'll have to wait till after 1:15. So from 2 p.m. UK time onwards, that's when I'll start considering for some buys. And pound yen as well is not really at an area of interest for me. This is the resistance level I'm looking to buy from. We do have a really nice trend line. All the kind of yen pairs are doing something similar. But this is definitely my area of confidence for pound yen. And as you can see, we're just floating a few pips above that. So pound yen, I'm not interested in whatsoever until we start coming back down to these areas around 168. A little bit under 168. So if we come into these areas, then I will be looking at buying pound yen. And again, the yen pairs are kind of giving us similar setup. So I'll just pick which ones give me the best entry in terms of risk to reward and just the clarity of the entry as well. And I'll trade that pair alone. But pound yen looks good. Again, really nice impulsive break to the upside, comfortable uptrend. If we scan through the higher time frames as well, the market structure is still incredibly bullish on the daily chart too. It is rejecting the highs here, but I do think we can get another pop into that level. So Yeah, pound yen looks like a good buy setup, but yeah, nowhere near. Well, it's fairly near, but it's not trading in the entry zone, so there's nothing I can do with pound yen. It might go up, but again, my trading style is not my type of trading style. It's objective. It's either it's in my area of interest or it's not. And yeah, pound yen isn't, but euro yen is. But unfortunately, with euro yen, we've got a big news announcements coming up. So it will be best to wait till after. Give it 30 minutes at least, preferably an hour after that news has happened. So the hourly candle closure after, and then we can consider what we can do with euro yen. But yeah, that's my outlook on those pairs. Okay, so GL30, CAD Gen, we'll take a look as well. Morning MC, SMC trading. Hope you're doing good. Mighty King, what is up? Hope you're doing good. Jordan, what is up? Welcome to the stream. Use the JPY. Okay, we'll take a look. What happened to gold? Yeah, gold was incredibly bullish. Hi from Tokyo. No way. My mental wicked. My name's from Japan. Yeah, a few people from Japan now. Moch, got a fellow Japan resident there. But yeah, so gold was flying to the upside. I'll take a look at GL30 and CAD first, then we'll get into gold. But yeah, gold was very, very bullish. We were seeing some weakness in the dollar, so obviously that translates to strength in gold. And generally speaking, gold's being heavily bought at the moment as well. But yeah, GL30, interesting price action. I mean, screams consolidation right now, but yeah, it's still overwhelmingly bullish on the higher time frames. So I would favor more upside, but in the short term, we might roll over first and then form a higher low to push on higher. So on the lower time frames, there might be some nice temporary shorts in the meantime, because as you can see, the market has been trying to create some higher highs. It toppled out, and we had this big outburst to the upside, which looks to be just a big fake out, taking out some of these highs. Now the market's starting to print some lower highs off the back of that, and ever so slightly printing some lower lows as well. So if the market can push up again, which it seems to be doing a lot of, again, you're looking for a lower high to short that. Or the safer trade would be waiting for market to break structure first and then catching the retest of that. It's up to you how you want to trade that, but the way I would go about it is looking at that next lower high, entering up here, slightly more risky, better risk reward, waiting for the break and retest, less risky, might not be as good risk reward, you might not even get the retest either. So yeah, GL30, the way I see it, the market's starting to show signs of exhaustion in this bullish market on the 4H and the hourly, but high time frames still look comfortably bullish. So I still do expect another bullish swing. We may come back to areas like so to retest and continue our trend. We might take a breather for a little bit and then keep going. But yeah, high time frames are still comfortably bullish. If you look at the daily, probably are going to the highs down the left around 16,250. So yeah, for this one, short-term sales look good. Either wait for the break of structure or that next lower high coming back into some resistance. And then yeah, followed by some buys later on. That's kind of what I'm looking at for GR30, but yeah, it's quite corrective. Probably best to wait for the breakout and then get the retest. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at for GR30. CAD Yen we'll take a look at as well. Then move on to US to JPY and gold. Miko, do you use break of structure and I use break of structure. I don't use shock. I'm not too sure what that is, but yeah, I do look at structure a lot. So I'm looking at higher highs, higher lows. If structure breaks, break of structure, and the market starts creating lower lows and lower highs, then yeah, I will be shifting my bias from bullish to bearish depending on the structure. But I don't use the second one. Use the JPY, yeah, we'll take a look at that one and go through CAD Yen first. I'm in JPY based on the wick on the 4H. And bullish and gold on the hourly. Will the news affect this? Which news are you talking about? Let me actually go quickly take a look. Because you've got ECB shouldn't really affect USD JPY. We do have some jobless claims, coming out at 130, which probably would affect USD JPY because it's obviously dollar on dollar. So yeah, we should see the news at 1:30 UK time. Jobless claims for the dollar will probably affect USD/JPY. How much? I'm not too sure. It might be a little bit, could be quite big. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. Depends, what actually happens when the numbers get released. If it's quite big from expectation or equivalent to expectation, that will depend, on how much reaction we get. But yeah, jobless claims for dollar should obviously affect dollar, and USD/JPY is a dollar currency, so could see a reaction there to that pair. But we'll dive into USD/JPY and we go through CAD yen first. Okay, so CAD yen, this one's seen a big push to the downside. I was actually looking to see if we can get a bounce to the upside yesterday. I don't know if we're still testing the area or breaking through. Yeah, slight break underneath the area. I was looking to see if we can hold this as support for a pop to the upside. We'll come into the 0.618 of the fib. So yeah, we'll come into a nice little area. Did see a slight bounce there, but the market broke through on the news of yesterday with the Fed. And now we're trading underneath the level. So if we can get back above this area, I do think there could be some nice buys for CAD yen. And kind of a bit of a head and shoulder pattern. Left, kind of head, get back above, right shoulder, and then the bounce to the upside. All I want to see is price just break back above 99, and then I'll be more convinced by some longs here for CAD yen, because we do have a really nice bullish structure here. As you can see, you've got the push, the pullback, another push, the pullback, push, and again, I'm treating this as a pullback. It's fairly impulsive, which is a slight red flag, but we haven't really broke any major structure yet. Market's still creating higher highs and higher lows. So I'll be expecting to see another swing to the upside. How far it goes, that's another question. It might be a short move and then we start rolling over. It could actually start a real trend to the upside, because we're kind of in a weird place right now where we do have this bearish structure which is starting to exhaust and maybe starting to go bullish, or maybe we're just taking out some highs to roll over. So we're in kind of a weird place right now for CAD yen. But if you can get back above 99, that would tell me that the buyers are back in control again, or at least seeing some momentum anyway. And a nice little retest could provide us with some nice buys above that zone. However, right now above that level is going to be resistance. Might send us for another bearish leg to the downside before we see some bullish momentum. So I will be a little bit careful entering some buys now for CAD yen. And definitely I'm bullish on the pair and would be looking for more upside. But I'm not the biggest fan of where price is trading underneath right now. In fact, for most yen pairs, I'm looking for upside. So euro yen, pound yen, looking for buys. CAD yen, CHF JPY, I'm looking for buys as well. USD/JPY, this one is, I'm looking for buys, but I need price to get back above the area, which is the second pair we'll take a look at. So yeah, USD/JPY, I was looking for a bounce on this level here, and as you can see, is broken underneath. It's testing a trend line, which actually I bought from last week, so it's back at the same trend line that I bought from last week. So it's at a nice area, but again, realistically, I want to see price be holding this as resistance, turn to support. The fact that we've broken underneath means that we've got an obstacle not too far away from us that could potentially send us back down. Again, trend lines are good, but support and resistance is a lot more important. So that's where my importance lies, on the support and resistance. Trend lines just act as a confluence to support the trade that I'm taking. So if the market is underneath the support I was looking to buy from, I need price to essentially get above that. Essentially get back above that for me to actually look for some buys. And then if you do something like this would be a lot better opportunity to take. Come back above that area, throw some wicks to the downside like we did last week, back above that same area, and the buys there will look a lot better, a lot more attractive to take. And then again, we can probably look for the push to the exact same area as last week as well. So yeah, USD/JPY I'm still bullish on. Like I said, most yen pairs still bullish. CAD yen, USD/JPY, euro yen, pound yen, but not quite giving me the buy entries yet. Euro yen looks the best out of them all, to be honest, but it's just a shame because we do have big euro news coming out later. If we didn't, I'll just be waiting for an entry signal in euro. If I can get a nice bullish engulfing somewhere, I'll be looking to get in. If this next candle gave me a bullish engulfing, I'll be getting into the trade. But with the news so close away, it's not the best, because you're just prone to that kind of wick, getting wicked out very easily. and it's always best to maybe enter a little bit after. You might have a bigger stop loss, but it's a much safer entry anyway. And if we're right, we can get pushed all the way back to the highs there. So risk to reward is not looking in doubt. So yeah, Euro Yen looks the best for me, but we'll be waiting until after the news before looking to enter the trade. I will go take a look at gold next. AUSD on a sell, nice to go take a look. I got stopped out of AUSD yesterday on the Fed interest rate decision. Big wick to the upside, took me out the trade. I haven't actually looked at AUSD since then. I wonder what's cooking with that one. Because we have seen some dollar strength, so I imagine maybe AU's seen some downside. Let me actually go and take a look. A bit of consolidation, maybe some downside in the last 4H candle. But yeah, the market's getting a little bit choppy with AU now. I mean, I still do favor the downside move because the lower highs are still within structure. But yeah, it's getting a little bit choppy in that area. So it'll be interesting to see how this develops. Maybe if you can get a break structure to the downside, clear the consolidation, probably get a much greater chance of us seeing some more downside. But yeah, the structure's not bad. It's just that kind of price action there is looking a little bit choppy for my liking. But yeah, I would still have a bearish bias in AU since no major structure has been broken yet. Let me go take a look at gold. So yeah, gold flew to the upside yesterday. That's silver, that's gold. So yeah, gold flew to the upside, creating some new highs. Did we create new all-time highs? No, we didn't, did we? Yeah, gold is just flirting with these highs right now. So close to see some new highs. We've done it once already with COVID. Was that COVID or was that COVID? Yeah, that was COVID, sorry. This was Russia-Ukraine. So yeah, we came very, very close during peak times Russia-Ukraine when that first came into the scene. Came very, very close. 2060 or 2070 we wicked into. All-time highs is around 2075, 2076. Now we come in again. So the market is just building up a lot of liquidity above these highs here because a lot of people will be shorting at the resistance because it's just simple resistance, short from resistance. It's a big level. A lot of people will be selling here, stop losses above the highs there. So I'll be expecting this to get run pretty soon. It's either we do it very, very soon or we might retrace a little bit and then go do it. And that's going to be up to gold. But yeah, I'm still definitely very, very bullish with this one. Look at the higher time frames. Taking that to the daily as well. And that's a big wick there, big rejection. But all I'm expecting to see is retracement and the next bullish wave to the upside. So coming back to around that 2010, 2015 mark, this kind of area here, that consolidation, if you can come back into that area, that is a fantastic place to look for some longs and looking for the next leg to the upside. If I whip out the old fib, coming to that 0.618 area, we did miss the break and retest on 2010 because of course we had the news. But all the market did was basically just retest that level and start flying. So sometimes the technicals just play out calmly with the news. Sometimes it's a bit more erratic. Sometimes you can get some ugly wicks back and forth that will take you out the trade and then the market moves. In this case scenario, it just worked out pretty well. Price just retested that resistance and then just flew to the upside. But nonetheless, it looks like the market is retracing and probably going to give us another opportunity to get involved. So I'm still looking for the all-time highs to be taken out. So we still got more upside or reason to head higher into that 2076, 2075 area. Now we can see a good opportunity to actually buy the market. So this area around 2020, 2015, we'll be keeping an eye on it for some buys. In terms of market structure, market still creating higher highs and higher lows. We had that ugly consolidation, which seems to be put at an end right now. And now we're seeing bullish momentum coming back to life. So all I'm looking for is just a bit more downside, some entry signals around here, and then looking for the next wave to the upside. So yeah, gold is looking really, really good. For some buys, just need to be patient for them to materialize, and then we can look for entries to take it higher again. So yeah, gold, big rocket to the upside of some dollar weakness, but the way I see it, there's more upside to it. Even if DXY is looking a tad a little bit bullish right now, which it kind of is with that bullish candle, but in the grand scheme of things, we still got a very comfortable bearish trend on our mitts right now, so I'm not too too worried about that big, this little spike here to the upside. It might turn into something big. It most likely won't. Probably just roll over and come test the support here at 100.85. So yeah, the way I see it, gold still does have a lot of room to the upside. So buys look good. Even silver as well. Silver looks like it's starting to break out the consolidation too. Silver might start to rally back to highs too. Is anyone trading gold? Or is anyone looking to trade gold? Okay, USD CrossFit, we'll take a look as well. Anus looking to sell US 500 today. Okay, we'll take a look. Indices took a bit of a dip to the downside yesterday. Quite interesting because dollar was weak, but the indices dropped as well. But yeah, we'll take a look at US 500. Okay, we'll go through some major pairs as well. And we do still have dollar news coming out. And obviously, we've got dollar news on Friday as well. We've still got NFP. So, yeah, it's still got a big event coming on Friday too for the dollar pairs. So, should see some more fireworks. Henrique, how far are you looking to push that AUD/USD position? Are you looking for back to the prior lows, or there's a specific a different target you have in mind? Change of character. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, I think that's a term tailored to a particular strategy. I don't have a term why I say change of character. Miko, would you please explain why you got out of AUD/USD shorts for a break even? Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll quickly go over that trade much as well, but it's essentially because I got stopped at a break even. But I'll go over it. Pound AUD, Euro AUD. Okay, so let me go take a look at USD, US 500 first, and then we'll go over my trade on AUD/USD. Okay, so Euro NZD, where are you? There you are. Okay, so Euro NZD, looking for some more downside for this one. I'm looking for some buys around 1.75. This was my analysis from yesterday. I was looking for some buys down here, still am. But I said yesterday we might see a retest of this zone here. We had a really good confluence. The market's obviously broken through some bullish structure here, higher highs and higher lows. Market's broken through that. So I said it could be nice for a little retest in that area. And then we could open up the doors for some downside back into a really big level on the daily and weekly time frame. This prior resistance here turns support, because again, the market's still in a very comfortable bullish trend here. So I would be expecting the market to start having a bounce there. It might not go too far because we are coming up to some key resistance. It might topple over. There's a lot of if, buts, and maybes. All I can see is that this is a solid level where we could probably get a nice bounce from. So in terms of buys, I'm looking at 1.75 to see what we can do there. See if we can change the structure, get some higher highs and higher lows going, and then possibly look for some longs there. But at the moment for USD, I'm kind of favoring this move here to the downside from 1.785 back down to 1.75. Didn't quite test the zone there. Break of support, looking to test as a resistance. Didn't quite test the zone with that wick there yesterday. Maybe we might still come up one more time into that zone and then see the downside move. Not too sure. We could just roll over right now. We could just see some downside right now. That's up to USD. But yeah, I'm not really seeing clear opportunities to get into the market. You don't really want to be shorting here close to the support. And I'm not really seeing any good buys either until we get down to 1.755. So yeah, USD is kind of just floating in an awkward place right now. If we come up higher, shorts do look a lot better. If we follow through to the downside, buys look a lot better down in that 1.755, 1.75 area. But as to where we are right now, I'm not seeing any solid buy or sell opportunities, kind of just in the middle of no man's land here. So the best thing to do for USD is stay patient, wait for us to come back to an area value, and then you can start looking for some entries around that area. But yeah, right now, I wouldn't touch the pair. Okay, so US 500, Anis, you said you're looking for some shorts. Okay, let's take a look. So yeah, okay, so nice downside there. Didn't expect to see such a big move. US 30 did see a relatively big push, and so did US 100. US 500, big push there as well, almost taking up the lows. So yeah, US 500, the structure is pretty clear here on the lower time frames. Obviously, you've got strong impulse, correction, news kicked in, another big impulse to the downside. So what can we expect? More correction, more downside. I would be a tad bit careful because obviously higher time frames, the market is still in a little bit of a weird place right now, testing that resistance. But the lower time frames look pretty clear. Full H, I'm not a fan of the structure for most of the indices, but looking from the hourly downwards, it looks pretty clear for some shorts. So yeah, keep in mind of 4110, or a little bit above 4110, 4113 around this area here. This is a solid level of broken support time resistance. If you can get a spike into that area, that could be a nice little place to short from, looking to capture the next wave to the downside, possibly back to these lows or these prior lows here as well. That's up to you where you want to push the trade to. But yeah, I do like the setup. Clear impulse to the downside. We're seeing clear bearish structure. The market's obviously broken through the lows there as well. And obviously you're printing some really clear lower highs. 1, 2, 3. So expecting a fourth and another down move to the downside there as well. So S&P hourly structure looking very, very clean. High time frames a little bit here, but hourly structure looking pretty clean. So keep an eye on that price support there. Term resistance around 4113. So you can get some shorts around there. But yeah, I do like the structure in the lower time frames. It's a decent opportunity. Clear structure, clear momentum, clear highs and lows. That's what you want to be looking out for your setups. Clear structure, not something that has you guessing, should I be buying or should I be selling? If that's ever the situation, best thing to do is just leave it alone. Okay, so I'll go through my trade yesterday, AUD/USD real quick. Euro AUD we'll take a look at as well. Pound AUD 2. So far, it looks like head and shoulder pattern is your favorite pattern. Not really. I can't remember the last time I traded the head and shoulder pattern. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I actually traded a head and shoulder pattern. It's quite frequent in the market. I mean, this is sort of like a head and shoulder pattern at the top there. As you can see, left head, right shoulder, broke to the downside. So it's a pretty frequent pattern that I do spot often, but I wouldn't say that I traded that much though. If the market does come back and retest, some broken structure of the neckline of the pattern, then yeah, I will be looking for entries. But yeah, I can't remember the last time I actually traded it, but they do happen quite frequently. Even this is sort of a head and shoulder pattern as well. Left, there's the head, and there's the right shoulder as well. So it's a pretty frequent pattern, which is probably why I talk about it a lot. Okay, so let me go through AUD/USD. So yeah, I had some shorts yesterday for AUD/USD. Not yesterday, on Monday. Was it? No, Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. So I had some shorts here on Tuesday. Stop loss was above the highs here, and then I was looking for a swing back down to the lows. So with AUD/USD, I went to break even as soon as price hit my first target, which was this area here. So this was broken resistance, turned support. This is the most what's the word I'm looking for? The most relevant area of support and resistance, where if the market was going to come test and possibly fail the trade, this was the most logical place for the market to go do that. So this is where I secured my partials and went to break even. And normally go break even in my trades between 1R and 2R. So depending on the structure and where I'm choosing, around 1R, 2R is when I normally go and break even on my trades. And I'm taking some partials as well. So this was coming into around 1.4, I think it was. Yeah, actually 1.6, around 1.5, 1.6. So as price was coming into this area, this is where I was taking my partials. I went to break even. My second target was down at this area here, and my final target was down at those lows. So I was already break even. So my stop loss was there, and then I was just going to see what happens with the news. See if the price was going to push for me or push against me. Kind of done neither, to be fair. It pushed against me, took me out of the trade there, but it hasn't really done much since that. So yeah, I exited the trade because my stop loss was then I got tagged out. It wasn't a voluntary exit of the trade. It was literally because the market wicked me out of the trade. My stop loss was just above my entry, and as you can see with this big wick there to the upside, that took me out the trade. I'm onto the next setup. So yeah, I mean, in terms of my management plan and how I manage trades, that's how I manage trades. Some trades I get wicked out, some trades I don't, some trades hit my stop loss, some trades go and fly to my final TP, like USJPY last week. That one I went to break even coming into the high. Where is USJPY? So yeah, I took the buy here and I went to break even coming into the high. That was around 1.4, 1.5 hour as well. And this one just flew to my target with the back of the news, but AU didn't. So yeah, it wasn't a voluntary exit the trade because I feel like the market's going to go up or things are going to change. It's just because my stop was at break even and I got wicked out. So hopefully that answers your question, Watch. Euro AUD we'll take a look at next, and I'll take a look at Pound AUD too. Yeah, buys on USJPY don't look too bad, but I'd rather wait for price to get above. Where's USJPY? There you go. So I'd rather wait for price to get above 135 because this is the level I was looking to buy from at the start of the week, and we've actually climbed below it. So although yes, we're still hanging on to the same trend line, I do want to be buying from a solid level of support as well. And that 135 level is a really solid level of resistance. Price broke through great momentum. So I want to see price breaking back above and then using that as support along with the trend line as well. So we're still buying from the trend line, still the same trend line. But at least now we've got a major level of support in our favor as well, rather than buying in towards that area, which could lead to something like this happening if the market does want to shift trend as well. So the way I see USJPY is break above 135, then we can start discussing about some long entries, but I don't want to be buying into resistance. That's just a big no-no. So yeah, Euro AUD, Pound AUD, we'll take a look. Euro AUD was, so a big bounce to the upside. This was a really nice push there, coming into this area. High lows, and price came into a lovely level here. Last kind of sell-off area, tapped into it. Really aggressive push to the upside. So I'm not really seeing much here for Euro AUD, to be honest. I said coming into the week that if we can get a bounce here, we might start selling off again from this resistance. We do have this lower time frame structure here, which could give us another lower high coming back into this area and possibly roll back over. But we didn't get that. The market broke to the upside and now is looking fairly bullish. So I wouldn't be looking to sell the pair. I wouldn't be looking to buy the pair either. Unless we come back to some areas of support resistance again, then yeah, we might see some nice buys closer down to these areas. But that's the only opportunity I can see for Euro AUD that is a high probability. The rest, just not there. I'm not seeing any good sells. The market's still a very comfortable bullish trend. I know it's approaching some resistance, but still I would not be selling that. And yeah, the buys I need to see price come a lot deeper first for me to be interested in taking any longs for Euro AUD. So there's nothing really to do here. Let me know what you're looking at for Euro AUD, because I'm not seeing anything at all. Of course, you might have something in place with your plan, and take those trades. Just because I'm not seeing anything or I don't like a particular setup doesn't mean you shouldn't trade it. All I'm talking from is the way I trade, and the way you trade might be slightly different. So there's going to be difference between our thought process and stuff. But right now for Euro AUD, there's nothing that looks good to me. Pound AUD, probably something similar as well, if that pushed the upside. So yeah, there's not really much to do with Pound AUD either. As you can see with this one, consistent higher highs and higher lows. We're approaching some resistance right now. I would neither want to buy the pair and I neither want to sell the pair either. This was a solid level of consolidation. If the market can come back into this area, this would be a fantastic place to go long. Could see a bit of a bull flag kind of retracement, impulse one, retracement again, and then get the next impulse to the upside. That'll be a lovely setup there. Kind of get that impulse, correction, impulse, tap into that consolidation, which provided this humongous move to the upside coming into 1.855. So that's good. Excuse me, that's kind of the best opportunity I can see with Pound AUD right now, is a retest of that area. And we can take out some of these weaker lows here as well, come into that area of consolidation, see a bounce. But anything up here is, I'm not seeing anything really. Lower time frames as well, it's kind of just a bit of a big mess. Markets come up, down, up, down. There's no kind of clear structure with this one. Maybe on the lower time frames, there could be something there. But quite frankly, on the hourly, I'm not really seeing much. In the 4H, this is the only buy opportunity I'm seeing as well. So yeah, you need to be patient. Don't just want to take a trade just to take a trade. You want to make sure if it's a plan that you're comfortable with, that you know inside out, and that's sort of good probability as well. And that's typically going with the trend rather than against it. So yeah, keep an eye on 1.855. But up at those highs there, I'm not seeing much of an opportunity. No problem, happy to help. Would be nice to catch before the news. Yeah, obviously it would be nice to catch before the news, but obviously you could get caught by a wick as well and be stopped out before the news as well. So yeah, it's nice to ride the trade with the news and see that momentum in your favor, but you know, on another day that momentum's going against you. So it's 50-50 really. Obviously the way I see it is just focus on the technicals. Some trades will, you know, be benefited by the news, some trades won't be. As long as you got a decent risk to reward, you should be fine. But yeah, entering before major news announcements is a risky, especially when you enter just before, because there's a risk of slippage. You know, if you risk 1% of your capital, you might end up losing 3%. So you know, taking 3 losses basically unnecessarily. So sometimes it's best just to wait for after the news. If you can, you know, get in a few hours before the news, like me, I typically try to get in at least the day before, and then I'll sit through the news that way. But yeah, as an intra-week swing trader, it's difficult to avoid the news altogether. But in terms of entering just before, you know, that can be avoided. Okay, Bitcoin, we'll take a look. Daily FX 83, no problem. Tyrese, what is up? Hope you're doing good. What about gold? Do you see any chances for further up moves as I'm long and not book profit? Yeah, I do. I still see gold heading higher. Again, I'm not crystal ball, but I do favor gold heading to the upside as well. I'm personally still looking for buys for this one. 2019 is the kind of the area I'm looking for. Oh, did not mean to do that. Is the area I'm looking for buys for gold. So I'm still looking at 2076 as the all-time highs to get smashed. Whether we do that this week or next month, you know, that is not up to me, and I have no idea when we'll do it. But in terms of the likelihood of that happening, it's pretty high. So the way I see it, gold is most likely going to continue up. If we do come back down, it's most likely just going to give us good opportunities to get long. Just need to wait for some good confidences, good entry signal, and then we take the trades. But yeah, I do see a lot more upside for gold. So again, but it'll be important to book profits as well, because gold's at some really strong resistance. Despite what we think will happen, you know, it's best to secure some profits. Now, obviously, help you hold the position longer as well, because at least you've realized some of your gains, help with your psychology. Worst thing that happens, you walk away for small profit. You know, that will give you the extra confidence to hold the trade longer to your overall targets. Okay, so let me go through some pairs. What did I say I'll go through? So Euro AD, Pound AD did that. If I've missed out a pair, let me know. BTC I'll take a look at as well. UCCHF Nike, no problem, we'll take a look. NTCHF Tyrese, we'll take a look. Sculpt TFX, I only trade gold, mainly Sculpt with some intraday trades, but loving the channel, Miko, you're smashing. Hey, much appreciated. Yeah, again, there's so many different styles, so many different ways to trade the market. It's endless. There's no right way, just like there's no wrong way as well, because for every buyer there's also a seller. So if every person buying the market, you know, have a solid reason to buy the market, there's some person with an equally as strong reason to sell the market as well. So yeah, there's so many ways to trade. Obviously, scalping is a little bit fast and furious for me. So okay, we're back. Wait, are we back? I just accidentally knocked out my, yeah, we are back. So yeah, I accidentally knocked out my plug for my microphone, oopsie. Anyway, so yeah, scalping's a bit fast and furious for me. I haven't really tried scalping, you know, seriously. I've dabbled a few years ago, but yeah, it was a short dabble. But yeah, kudos to you though. Okay, so we'll take a look at Bitcoin. Whereas BTC. So yeah, Bitcoin, I'm looking at some buys, but a lot further down. I'm not really interested at the current prices for Bitcoin. I want Bitcoin to come a lot further down. I'm looking at 25k. Whether we get there or not, I have no idea. But I got some really good confluence around this area, and there's very good likelihood we'll see a bounce as well. Yeah, Bitcoin's kind of doing its own thing right now. It's coming to some very strong high time frame resistance on the weekly chart. So I'm not really interested in buying Bitcoin. In terms of trading Bitcoin, it's not really a good place to buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin can see a push to 25k. That would definitely interest me for some longs for the next bullish swing to the upside, because we've had this humongous impulse to the upside from the low to the high there. And looking at price coming back and retesting some of this area. Prior resistance we haven't retested, and coming back into the 50% of that move there as well. So personally, I'm just waiting for some correction. We are retesting a solid level on the weekly time frame here at 30k. So buys don't particularly overwhelm me right now. But if you come back down, I will be looking for a push to the upside back into the highs, and maybe even further as well if you can break through. Yeah, Bitcoin, I'm not really seeing much. It's a little bit weird, market's creating some higher lows here, but also creating some lower highs. So the way I see it, the market's kind of just consolidating, getting ready for another big move. It may burst to the upside, it may burst down. I'm not really trying to get involved with that or try and predict it either. That's not really my specialty. So with Bitcoin, all I can see is that we're at resistance, price kind of consolidating. I can see a big outburst happening pretty soon. Maybe it's to the upside with all the kind of fear in the world right now. And Bitcoin, could be seeing a surge of people buying it. So maybe we're going to break to the upside. But yeah, 25k is my area of interest. So we'll be staying patient for a move back down into that area. So that makes sense for BTC. We'll take a look at USDC HF next. NZT HF we'll take a look as well. Andreas, hope you're doing good. Any thoughts on USDC HF? Yeah, we'll take a look at that pair next. Anish, what is up? I'm long AUD CAD, USD CAD, and short BTC. Okay, interesting little pair there. We'll take a look at AUD CAD and USD CAD, but yeah, like I said, BTC is at a strong level of resistance, but I'm not really I'm looking to sell it, to be honest. I'm looking at the buys at 25k. So yeah, that's kind of all I had to say. It's at a solid resistance. I'm not really convinced by the price action. The way I'm looking at it right now is consolidation, and price is probably getting ready for a big move. But as to which way, I'm not too sure. All I'm doing is waiting for 25k, and that's where I'll look to hopefully get involved. So hopefully your trade can play out, because then it probably will get to 25k. But we will see. Anyway, let me go through dollar Swiss. Okay, so USDC HF, I think it has tapped that weekly level, which I was talking about yesterday. So if I draw it in, there we go. More or less come into that area. It looks like it's just tested it by a pip, or even missed it by a pip. Anyway, this is a very strong higher time frame level. We had a very comfortable bearish trend, so that's why I was looking for price to head towards. People yesterday were looking to see if they can buy from here, and rightly so. It's a strong area of support, but the trend does kind of is more important than support and resistance. Market structure is more important than support and resistance. The way I see it, market structure, support and resistance, and then every other confluence underneath that, depending on where you kind of focus your attention on. But market structure is the most important thing I look for. I don't use it to buy and sell, but to understand the direction of things, market structure is number one for me. And then I'm looking at support and resistance to look at areas of value and where I can to potentially get involved. But yes, we had a good level of support here for USDC HF, but you have to understand that we're still seeing very impulsive moves here to the downside, and still showing a lot of sign that the bears are still alive and still kicking for USDC HF. So although yes, we're at support, we might see a bounce. You have to understand that the wind is in the sails of the bears. So although we could see a bounce, it most likely will be short-lived, and we did see a slight bounce, as you can see. If we go to like the hourly time frame, very, very slight bounce to the upside and the market goes and break through. So from my experience, I just tend to stay away from those opportunities and look to trade in the direction of the impulses rather than against them. So yeah, with USDC ETFs coming down into the area, I do think some shorts will be looking a lot better now, because now we're actually taking out these lows here. So the market is creating some new lows past these points. So I reckon a test of 0.892 could probably see a nice push to the downside as well. This could be a nice little TP now as well. And also we still got the weekly down there, which the market could come deeper into as well. So the way I see USDC ETF is still bearish. If I zoom out, you can see the market still very, very consistent with these lower highs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, kind of together with that double top. And now we've just seen some new lows. So I'm not looking for buys for this one at all. I know we're at big high time frame support. With the weekly chart coming back into this area, this gave us a big move to the upside and possibly could do that again. But I want to see the market start breaking structure first, start giving me some higher highs and higher lows. Then yeah, I will take the buys from that and maybe a retest of this structure. So that buy opportunity there will be something I'll be interested in, because we've got the rejection of the higher time frame low, higher time frame support, and now we've got the breaker structure in the 4H as well, and the bullish market structure to trade. So if I'm looking at buys, or if anyone's asking for buys, this is the best opportunity I can see. As of right now, I still favor more downside and some more sells at 0.892. So keep an eye out for that area, because we could still see some more downside for this chart. NZDC ETF I'll take a look at next. And I'll go through ADCAD and USDCAD as well. Do you use RSI? No, I don't use RSI. Again, RSI for me, the way I see it, is just another kind of layer of confidence you can have in your trading. I personally don't use it, but I know some people that do use it. So yeah, it's kind of a here nor there. You can still have success with RSI. You can have it with the RSI. The way I see RSI is just like confluence, like fib. Some people use fib, some people don't. I happen to be the part of the people that do use fib. There are successful traders who don't use fib as well. So it's just another confluence you can use. If you find that it really does aid your trading, then yeah, go berserk with it. But I wouldn't base a whole strategy around it. It's just like a layer of confluence you can look at to give you more confidence to take a particular trade. Vivek, what is up? For entries in which time frame you see candlestick pattern in 4H or hourly? Hourly is where I take most of my trades. I use 4H to analyze the market, and then 4H to analyze the market and look for areas to buy and sell. And I normally drop to the hourly to take my trades, just to maximize the risk to reward. Sometimes I do take it at the 4H if the hourly is not showing what I want to see. So sometimes I will wait for the 4H to take the trade. But most of the time, 80-90% of the time, it's on the hourly time frame. No problem much. Happy to help. I mentioned Euro JPY. Okay, we'll go to Euro JPY. I'm looking at buys as well. But like I said, we've got ECB news coming out in the next two hours and a little bit. So yeah, there's kind of contradiction here. We've got a big news announcement coming out, but so we've also got a really good opportunity. Like Euro Yen, fits the plan well. If there wasn't a big interest rate coming out in the next couple of hours, so I'll be looking for some confirmations to get in, which we still don't have, by the way. The market can still definitely break through this area. It is a good area of confluence. We're still seeing good structure, but we don't have to necessarily bounce from this area. We could still potentially break through, which is why I wait for confirmation. We need to be waiting for that shift in momentum down the hourly time frame for me to be triggered into the trade, which we still don't have yet. This hourly candle is about to close in about 3 minutes time, and it does not look like we're going to get a shift in momentum and then get that bullish engulfing that we're looking for. So as things stand, this is still an invalid setup for me anyway. Looking at the hourly chart for my price action to get into the market. So unless we get a bullish engulf in the next 2.5 minutes, it's still invalid. And even if we do get a bullish engulf in the next 2.5 minutes, again, we've still got that news coming out in 2 hours. So I'll be waiting after that news before I look to press the trigger. So yeah, need to wait for the entry confirmation first, and then also need to wait after the news. So It's up to you if you want to trade it. Of course, if you've got something in your plan, trade your plan. But for me, there's nothing there yet to buy the market. It's a very good area, but yeah, still a little bit premature. I'll take a look at AUD CAD and USD CAD. So yeah, AUD CAD, we've been talking about this one quite a lot. I said I haven't really been liking the structure here for the sells, because as I've said, we've got a nice little bearish market here. As you can see, the market's creating lower lows and lower highs, but we've been very, very corrective. So we're not really seeing impulsive legs to the downside. Thank you so much, Dennis, for subscribing. If you guys are enjoying the channel, by the way, enjoying the content, please be sure to hit the subscribe button. It does really help out the channel. We're almost at 8K subs as well. And yeah, drop a like if you are enjoying the channel too. It does help out. And thank you to everyone who has liked the video so far. But anyway, so the market's creating lower highs here, but we're very, very corrective in our impulsive moves. So I haven't been a big fan of AUD CAD. If you compare it to like USD which we were looking at earlier, you can see the big difference between the impulsive moves to the downside. They're a lot more there's a lot more conviction, there's a lot more momentum, so these structures are a lot better to trade, and you're just gonna have a lot more success in general than trading structures like AUD CAD, which are very, very corrective and lack that momentum. As you can see, this is just up, down, and typically AUD CAD moves like this, so it's going to be a rarity when you do see some good momentum for AUD CAD like this, for example. That's a nice solid impulse, that's a nice pullback, another nice move to the downside, and since then it's been a little bit here and all there. But anyway, so we're starting to break through the trend line, which is a slight red flag saying that we might be looking for a reversal. Again, I use support and resistance to signify if the market's going to break structure or not. Trend line breaks are a sign that we might be looking to shift, but it's not the sign. So with AUD CAD, we're kind of just flirting with this resistance here, and the fact that we've got a double bottom here as well, or triple bottom potentially as well, 1, 2, 3. It's not a good sign for the sell. So I'm kind of backing away for AUD CAD right now, waiting for price action to develop a little bit further before I look to do anything. In fact, I actually quite like the buys as well. If the market can break to the upside, give me some type of correction, this actually looks like a decent buy setup to me, because we've got the reversal confirmation here, getting the break of structure. We've also broken through the trend line. If we can get another impulse to the upside, we've simply got impulse, correction, impulse. We'll be expecting another correction, then another impulse to the upside. So the buys above 0.91 look pretty good to me if we can get a really nice impulsive breakout. So I'm not really interested in the shorts. Like I said, corrective price action, failing to create new lows, starting to break through the trend line, losing some confluence. There's multiple signs for me to not take shorts, but if you can see some good development on the buy side of things, there might actually be some good buy trades following up. But yeah, gotta stay patient for that. At the moment, price just consolidating at resistance. I'm not really seeing any good setup there at the moment. Let me go into USD CAD as well. So USD CAD, we did see some upside yesterday, and then coming into this resistance, kind of just consolidated. So with USD CAD, I'm still looking at the buy setup if we can clear this resistance here. So if the market can clear through that, I'll be more than happy to take the buys, because I'm still looking at the daily time frame and the daily structure here. Again, you can see the market is very consistent with these higher lows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and possibly 10. So the market is still, maintaining every time it comes down. It's not breaking the prior low. So it tells me that the buys are still very much in control of this market. And there's a good chance we'll probably come back into the resistance up there around 1.385, 1.39. So the way I see it for USD CAD is that most likely we're going to get another big push to the upside. But I need to see some structure being created first. We've had this really nice impulse. The market's kind of moving a little bit weird now. So if you can start breaking through some highs again, get some pullbacks on the back of that, yeah, I would be looking to long USD CAD. Back to some highs here on the left, maybe back to that higher time frame resistance up there. So yeah, USD CAD's at some nice resistance right now. Obviously, price support, resistance. Obviously, we did reject quite heavily last week as well. We're back there again. We might see some downside, but due to the higher time frames and what I expect to see happen with USD CAD, I'm waiting for some buy opportunities with this one. So 1.366, if you can get break above that, I'll be looking to long USD CAD. At the moment, it's still into the resistance, so I'm not looking to long the pair just yet. Because again, I don't want to be buying it into resistance. I want to make sure I'm waiting for price to break above that area, and then I look to start my buys. So that is kind of my thesis with AUD CAD and USD CAD. Which time frame do you use for your entries? Yeah, hourly time frame. What's up, Roland? Hope you're doing good. Welcome to the stream. Took a buy in pound NZD, took some nice TP at resistance. Played out nicely early morning South African time. Okay, we'll have a look to see on pound NZD as well. I know Euro AUD, Euro NZD, pound AUD, they're all gone up. So yeah, pound NZD should have seen some upside as well. Long on AUD CAD, yeah, like I said for AUD CAD, I do want to see price break through 0.91. Excuse me, just burp there. I want to see price break through 0.91 first because, yeah, well, at resistance, I don't really want to be buying into resistance. It does look like AUD CAD can see some upside though, with the characteristics I mentioned before and how things are developing. But I want to see a pop above that 0.91 for me to be interested in buying it. Sergio, what's up? I'm doing good. Hope you're doing good too. Some brokers show gold went up to 28.3 like Forex, even the candle on TradingView. Really? 2083. This one, Rwanda says 2067, 2068. If I go forex.com. Oh, wow. 2080. What's the all-time high here for gold? Yeah, new all-time highs apparently for gold. Yeah, interesting stuff. Again, brokers price action will differ from broker to broker, which is why it's very important that if you're using TradingView and your broker's not on TradingView, make sure when you do go take your trades on your broker that you've actually looked at the broker's price action as well. Because yeah, if you set alerts and stuff and you set trades, if you're going off the TradingView, the brokers on TradingView, and it's different from your broker, you can get done very badly from it. So yeah, we've actually got some new all-time highs to some brokers. I don't think we've got new all-time highs on my broker though, on IC Markets. I'm not too sure. I need to go double check actually. Yeah, I mean, yeah, brokers' price action would differ, to be fair. Again, the most important thing is that you stay with one particular broker on TradingView or with your particular broker, and you use that price action to base your decisions from. I mean, the analysis I'm looking at from gold, even from Forex.com price action, is still looking at buy opportunities. Even though we have wick through the highs there, we've had this insane impulse to the upside, this consolidation I'm still looking at test that. But yeah, it's very interesting because it's quite out of sync, because this one's had a huge spike above that and we're fairly away from that consolidation. If I go back to Rwanda, you can see we're not too far away and the wick's not as aggressive. So yeah, interesting, very interesting. Good spot though. Very good spot, Sergio. The best setup, Anthony, best setup, EuroJPY for afternoon. Yes, probably is EuroJPY. It probably is EuroJPY. I just want to see what happens with the news first, and then I'll be interested to take some longs. But yeah, no entry signal, as you can see. No entry signal there on that hourly candle. So we need to see that shift of momentum to tell us that the buyers are back in town. At the moment, the buyers are not back in town at all. So it's a fantastic area for Euro-Yen, really good area based on higher time frames. You've got multiple time frames showing more upside, looking at monthly, weekly, daily, all showing bullish momentum. But yeah, no entry signal. So until I get that, the trade is still technically invalid. Maybe we get it on the news. I have no idea. We'll wait and see. But yeah, the best setup right now is some longs on AUD CAD, looking for a pop to the upside. Potentially back to highs, might even go further. And also there's this level here slightly below, which we could wick into. So keep an eye out on 147, 750, 800. That's also a nice cheeky area as well. We had some brief consolidation, market wick lower, and then flew to the upside. We could even see a test of that area there again. But yeah, Euro Yen is on the top of the watch list right now. Just need to wait for some good entry signals. Much appreciated, buddy, but loving your channel for overall picture of what's going on in the market. Hey, much appreciated. I really do appreciate all the kind comments and the nice messages you guys do leave on the chat. But yeah, appreciate it, Scalp TFX. Euro Swiss, okay, we'll take a look. Zesty, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. GJ, okay, we'll take a look at pound yen. Do you trade gold? Yes, I do trade gold. I traded gold last week or the week before. No, it was last week. Yeah, I traded gold last week. I bought down here, yeah, around here, and I got the market. Well, I hit my target up here, and then it took me out on the next move down. But yeah, it was very, very corrective. So I wasn't eager to get back into the trade. I bought around here on the 4H time frame for a move there. And I got taken out on break even, and the market kind of consolidated and then finally ripped to the upside, which was the overall plan for the trade. For a big push to the upside, I kind of just maybe mistimed it, but at the same time, there is no kind of correct time because the consolidation was just very, very aggressive there. So there was no kind of good time to buy it unless you were trading the consolidation and kind of got lucky there, to be honest. But yeah, I do trade gold, not frequently. The last time I traded gold, besides that, was down here, which is back in October 2022. So a few months ago. But yeah, I do trade gold. Okay, so GJ, we'll take a look at, was there a pair I said take a look at before that? I'm not too sure. If I have missed out a pair that I said I'll do, let me know in the chat. But yeah, I'll take a look at pound, yeah, Euro CHF. So I'll go for Euro CHF and pound yen. Richard, yo, what is up? Please share your view on pound CAD. It has reached another high yesterday. Looking for long. Okay, we'll take a look at pound CAD as well. Can you share your fib template? Yeah, I mean the fib was basically there, but yeah, this is pretty much what I'm looking at. Basically got 1 and 0, which is the low and the high, and then I'm looking at 50, 0.5, 0.618, and 0.786. Yeah, those are the levels that I look at. I don't like the 0.382 or 2.86. I want the price to come at least halfway and deeper, because from my experience, it's always better to buy, at least in the FX market, it's always better to buy further down or sell higher up than it is to buy higher up, if you understand my drift there. Just because if you buy lower down, there's a less chance of the market faking you out versus the person who buys up here, just in terms of probability. The person who buys here versus the person who buys up there, less likely to get faked out here than you are up there. Sometimes there are shallow retracements that fly off without me, but that's the sacrifice I'm happy to give to get better entries and just better win rate in general from buying lower down. But yeah, 50, 0.618, 0.786 are the areas I look at on the fib. But anyway, so Euro Swiss was on the watch list this week, but it's kind of rolled over without me a little bit here. I'm still looking for a push back down to the lows. Let me just delete that. Back down to the lows of this support on the daily chart. Coming into the week, I was looking for a push a little bit higher up, roughly around the 0.99 area. So we had some really lovely lower highs here. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I was looking for one more pop to the upside into this area, get the next lower high. Then yeah, see the next stab to the downside. But after all, we just got a rejection of this support level here, turn resistance, and the market's starting to roll over from that. But nonetheless, I do think there's still some good opportunities on the lower time frames, like the hourly. We'll drop to the hourly. As you can see, we are starting to get these minor lower highs, 1, 2, and possibly a third one coming up, retesting that support. So keep an eye on this support area here. If you can get a suitable rejection around here, I do think we can print that next lower high and start to roll over. These are still the targets at 0.973. We might come back into this support again, so that's a nice area just to call it a day, take your profit. Or if you want to push it a little bit further, you've got support all the way down there if you want to push it too. But the way I'm seeing structure right now is 1, 2, possibly 3, and then get the next rollover. Really nice support as well, time resistance there at 0.982. So yeah, Euro Swiss, the directional bias is pretty much still the same here, but slight kind of adjustment of where we're looking to sell from, because realistically, I don't see us getting back up to that area. If we do, I'll still be open to short, but like I said, I don't think we'll probably get there again. So yeah, 0.982, the next area of value. And yeah, sells back down to the lows. 0.972 will be the overall goal. But yeah, this support could be a nice support just to take your profit into it and call it a day there. 90 watching, 2 or 3 competitors lurking, but let's get the likes. Much appreciated. Hey guys, if you are enjoying this stream, please be sure to leave a like much said. Yeah, really do appreciate it. Thanks to everyone who has liked so far, and drop a subscribe as well if you haven't done already. It doesn't hurt. Okay, so pound yen we'll take a look at, then we'll move on to pound CAD. So pound yen, So yeah, pound yen, again, all the yen pairs kind of giving us similar setups. Euro yen, pound yen, well, those particularly, to be honest, but they're all kind of giving us similar setups here as well. The successive higher lows, looking for price to push back into this area here. Got lovely resistance there. Price broke through, hasn't got a retest of. So I do see a nice little test of that area for further upside. This is what I'm treating as the retracement leg. This is our big impulse. So that's what I'm expecting to happen. As to where price is trading right now, it's not really at a key area of value. So I'm kind of leaving price alone right now because, yeah, I mean, we might see some upside here, but it's just not on a solid level of support and resistance for me to buy from. You know, this is clearly the area that will probably give us the most chance of a good bounce. Whether it does or not, you know, we'll wait for a confirmation when we get there, or if we get there. But I'm not interested at current price action for pound yen. So we might see some upside now. You can see the market starting to throw some wicks to the downside. So there's some evidence that we are showing some signs of exhaustion, maybe getting ready to turn around. Yeah, 167. 167, 900, 950 is my area of interest. So I'm waiting for just one more drop to the downside into that support area, and then I'll start studying the price action for some longs. Euro yen's kind of already in the area. I'm kind of just waiting for an entry signal, or at least first for the news to come first, and then I'll see what's cooking with Euro yen. But yeah, in terms of the price action, in terms of the direction, it's pretty straightforward with these pairs. We're seeing some healthy bullish structure. Yeah, this is the type of structure where you know, if you take a 8-year-old kid and you ask him, you know, what's the trend, what's the direction of the market, you know, he would say up. So those are the type of structures that I at least want to be trading, where it's very, very clear, easy to spot. You know, the levels are easy to spot as well, and predominantly those are normally my best trades, where it's kind of easy to spot. Trades where you have to kind of work a little bit and try and, you know, suss out levels and highs and lows. We have to get very intricate. Those trades have less success with. So when there's clear momentum, clear structure, I'm all over that. But yeah, I just want to see pound yen come a little bit deeper, and then I'll start looking for some entries. Pound CAD we'll take a look at next, Richard. Hey bro, can you take a look at silver? I'm looking for shorts around 26.015. Okay, we'll go take a look at silver as well. That's brave. Gold and silver are pretty bullish. They normally are quite heavily correlated together. So if gold's going up 9 times out of 10, so is silver. But we'll go take a look at silver as well. Pound USD. We haven't actually looked at pound USD. And we have we looked at euro? I don't think we have looked at euro. 2 most traded pairs we haven't looked at yet. Interesting. We'll go take a look at those pairs next. Much appreciated, Poppy. Leave a like if you guys are enjoying the stream. My broker says 2080. Yeah, if your broker says 2080, then, you know, stay with those prices. You don't want to be, you know, taking into account a different broker's price action and trading based off that, because obviously you're not trading on that broker. Obviously, in my case scenario, I'm using Rwanda, mainly FXCM, as the brokers who I'm doing most of my analysis on. But when it comes to taking a trade, you know, I will take what I've done on these brokers and I will go do it on IC market sometimes. trades are a little bit off, maybe a stop loss in a different place, but I make sure I do see what's going on in IC markets because that's the broker I'm actually trading with. So where my stop loss is and the prices I'm trading at is where it actually matters. So yeah, stick with the prices your broker's trading and trading according to that. Vince, I'm doing good. Welcome to the stream. Hoping you're good as well. Ryan, thank you for all the information and you give here. It's free. It has transfer my trading. Happy to hear, man. Happy to hear. Keep it up because again, remember, trading is very very personal. Yeah, at the same time, other people can be helping you, but a lot of the time, you have to be helping yourself to get anywhere. So, give yourself a pat in the back as well. Anyway, so pound Canadian. So yeah, CAD's been insanely weak. Pound's been a little bit strong as well. And yeah, pound CAD, Euro CAD, both in a very comfortable bullish trend. And yeah, some new highs created as well. So the way I see it for pound CAD is the best thing to do is just be looking for some long possibilities to take this one higher. Looking at the daily there, confident daily candle closure. Weekly is quite bullish as well. Yeah, ever since we've broken above this level here on the weekly 1.68, price has been very, very bullish for pound CAD, and we could be looking at 1.72ish coming into those areas there on the left long term. But yeah, anyway, yeah, price has just seen some new highs. So realistically, there's only one thing to do, wait for some retracement and then look for your buys to come back in again. I was talking about a retest of this area here. Obviously didn't quite see that. Where's it gone? There you are. So yeah, I was talking about retest of this area. Obviously didn't quite get that. Market's now breaking through the highs again. So realistically, this is also a nice place to go long from. You're taking that information down to the hourly, 30-minute. There's a good chance we can get a retest of those areas. If you do come a little bit deeper, then I'll start looking at this area here too. That price support there will be support there as well. Briefly resistance there around 1.6696. But all we're looking for is correction continuation. The market is comfortably bullish on multiple time frames. That we're still seeing impulsive price action as well to the upside. So yeah, the way I see pound CAD is you're waiting for some pullbacks to buy it back up again. 1.704, 1.696, 695 look like comfortable areas to start looking for some entries to take it higher. But at these prices, there's nothing really to do apart from wait for retracement really. I wouldn't look to short the pair. I would only be looking to buy in these current market conditions. So yeah, pound CAD is a decent pair, still seeing good momentum. Realistically, if you see some retracement, see some downside, we most likely will see a push higher again. So buys still look very, very good indeed. Just need to see price pullback, because for all we know, we could still see another 100, 200 pips to the upside if price wanted to, and then it starts to retrace. Doesn't have to necessarily retrace right now. It could still go for another bullish leg if it wanted to. So important thing to do is just stay patient. I think, Richard, you said you're looking for some longs. Yeah, looking for some longs, yeah. So you just got to stay patient, wait for price to come to you. And yeah, start look for entries to take price higher. But yeah, definitely agree with your bias. Okay, so silver we'll take a look at next. And then we'll go through pound USD, Euro USD as well. The banking closure is really pushing up price for gold. Yeah, a lot of fear in the market right now. Again, with the current world climate, you're going to see gold and presumably Bitcoin as well. And seeing some rallies. So from a fundamental perspective, gold is quite bullish, and from a technical perspective as well, gold is very, very bullish. So your best bet is to be looking for buys. You could be wrong 100%, but that if you're taking sells in these current market conditions, you can have a lot harder time than the person taking buys. So I know what I want to be doing in gold. I want to be looking for some longs, and this is like a very, very nice area to do that, 2019. And on this broker, maybe you can go see some new all-time highs, but of course, we've seen in other brokers that have already got that, which is quite interesting because it's quite a major thing to get a new all-time high or not. But anyway, I still see more upside in general. Okay, so let me go through silver, pound USD, and Euro USD. So silver, you said you're looking for some shorts from 0.1 to 22.5. 446. Okay, let me mark that on. So 2601, 2601. Okay, that's roughly around here. And 2244. That's around 2244. Wow, that's a big move down. It's a very big move down. Okay, that's around here-ish. Okay, so looking for a big old swing trade. Thank you so much, Ariel, for subscribing. Do really appreciate it. Okay, so not bad shout, to be fair. I mean, I see, excuse me, I see why you're looking for that, because the market is giving us that bearish structure of that lower high, lower high, lower high, possibly another lower high. And this is a realistic area that if the market actually wants to go bullish, because we are starting to print some higher lows, this could be an area where we do form a higher low and push up. And it is a very, very big level of support there as well too. So I do actually like your thinking. It maps out pretty well in the higher time frames, like daily, weekly. You know, this price action here makes sense, sells from the high to the low. But I would say that you can really increase your win rate and the probability of that move happening if you wait for this low here to get cleared first. Because shorting up here, yes, you're catching right at the high, you know, the risk rewards at its peak, really, you know, catching a move like this, which is, don't get me wrong, it's quite a probable move looking at the higher time frames too. But the market right now is still showing a lot of bullish momentum and a lot of bullish structure. If the market decides it breaks through this support, you know, aggressively, then yeah, retest of that, you probably are going to get your move back down to 22.44. So the break and retest of this low, not only is the risk reward still pretty good as well, you're still looking at quite a big move there to the downside. But in terms of the possibility of that trade playing out, you know, it's probably double than taking the shorts up here. So the way I see it for the move you're looking at is I would recommend, you know, waiting for the break of 24.6 and then looking for your shorts on the underside of that. Not to say that this won't work, but it's just a lot more risky. You know, the market's still bullish. We could easily see a pop to the upside and the market just continue flying, because we don't necessarily have to roll over. It's just it's a possibility, it's a theory. So yeah, if you can get the break of 24.6, 24.5, then the retest of that, this becomes a very decent trade, a very, very decent trade. Up there, it's still a decent idea, but you've got a lot of work to do for this to turn bearish. So my advice is wait for that break of that support and then look for your shorts. But from the higher time frames, looking in, you know, it does add up. We're still getting that lower highs. This could easily just be a big bearish flag, retracement 1, retracement 2, see the next continuation to the downside. From a technical standpoint, it does line up a lot, but yeah, you can wait for a better setup by waiting for that support to clear. So yeah, I hope that was useful. Pound USD and Euro USD we'll take a look at next. Anything on Euro Yen? Yeah, Euro Yen's a pair I'm looking at closely right now for some buys, but I need to wait for a confirmation candle before getting involved. Hey, thank you so much. Ooh, that's a difficult one. Shabangu. I'm going to say Shabangu. Hopefully that's fairly okay. But yeah, thank you so much for subscribing. So yeah, Euro Yen, I'm waiting for a buy signal here, a bullish engulfing, a shift of momentum before I look to go long. It's that great area, but nothing there yet. So I need to stay patient. And also we got Euro news coming out in about 2 hours time. Yeah, about 2 hours time, less than 2 hours actually. So I'm kind of waiting for that news to be over first. And then when the next hourly candle closes after the news, that's when I'll start looking for my entries, if there is a possible entry to take. But yeah, Euro Yen buys are looking pretty good. So need to wait for the news to come out first, and then we can get on the back of that. Okay, so Pound USD, Euro USD, we'll take a look at those guys. So Pound USD for me is still a very comfortable bullish pair. There were some nice buys this week on the retest of this area, coming to a lovely level of support as well. But I didn't take the trade because I was shorting AUD at the time, so I didn't kind of want to have two pairs conflicting against each other. But nice push to the upside. The market's just printed some new highs there as well. It's very, very corrective. It's interesting because we're seeing very corrective price action at a very kind of significant price point here, because we've got these major highs, and the market's kind of correctly breaking through, which sometimes does lead to a big collapse to the downside like that. which could be a possibility. But I have to stay with the current situation, which is still bullish until we start breaking through some lows. Then we can start talking about the short side of things for pound USD. But as of right now, the market's still in a comfortable bullish trend, so I have to favor with the buys with this one. So yeah, pound USD, you want to be seeing some pullbacks. This is a solid level of resistance, another level that I was looking at buying at the start of the week. Could see a retracement into that area and then see another stab bullish to the upside as well. So what I'm seeing is higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and also higher highs as well. So yeah, the best thing to do is still look for those longs. Even the lower time frames, hourly, 30-minute, you still get a much greater success of catching a nice pop to the upside than trying to catch some sells. And until we start breaking through some major structure, that's when I'll start looking for the sells and a bigger rollover. But right now, we are still printing all these higher lows. I do not want to go against that structure until it starts breaking. So for pound USD, still favoring more upside. Do you want to see some retracement first? 1.25 looks like a decent little level to get a test of. And then maybe we can see the next bullish leg from that area. So keep an eye on 1.25. Personally, I'm still bullish on pound USD and I'm still seeing some more upside, sorry. Euro USD, something similar as well. I mean, they're both just as corrective as each other. So it might be a sign that we actually could be seeing a topple, to be fair. Because again, breaking through a major high correctively doesn't normally scream sustainability. If you break through the high impulsively, then yeah, we could probably see a lot more distance. As you can see here, we broke through the high very impulsively. The market continued higher a lot longer. The fact they are breaking correctively normally means that we could see a move to the down. But again, we want structure to break first before we start looking for our sells. So for Euro USD, if this low here can break at 1.09423, then sells after that look very, very good for a bigger move down. But at the moment in time, again, similar to pound, we're still printing all of these higher lows. So yeah, for Euro, buys still look good. As of where, it's a little bit sketchy, to be honest. I'm not really seeing a clear-cut level to buy from. And we had the retest of that prior high there, and the market used that to follow through to the upside. But again, I'm not really seeing a clear buy. Right now, the market's testing some clear resistance right now, so it's definitely not now is a good time to buy Euro. And for me, it's not a good time to sell it either until we start breaking through some structure. So yeah, Euro USD, I'll kind of leave it alone. It's kind of here nor there. It's not really a really good place to do anything, in my opinion. Sure, it might be a good place to sell because it's at resistance. It's rejected a few times. But in terms of the direction's still up, and I don't really want to go against that until we start breaking through some structure here. So the way I say Euro is, stay patient and wait for further development on that pair. And by further development, I just mean more price action. More price action to make a better decision going forward with our trading. But pound USD, I think we can still get some good buys on that one. Still getting a lot of good momentum as well, and still a solid level to trade from. Euro USD, I'm not really seeing a clear-cut level, and yeah, we're at the highs right now as well. So yeah, I would say Euro USD, wait for some further development. There could be some good opportunities coming up. Definitely if you can break structure, but at the moment, yeah, I'll just let this one be. Wait for more PA. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. Is anyone trading Euro USD or pound USD at the moment? FST live trading. Your trading knowledge is impressive. Thanks for sharing your tips and tricks. As a fellow trader, I find your content very valuable. Hey, much appreciated. Yeah, again, just helping people out, to be fair, but a lot of trading is, yes, knowledge is important, a part of trading, but a big part of trading is just having that kind of trader habits, just discipline, organization, journaling, learning from your mistakes. A lot of that is what actually makes a sustainable trader. Knowledge is good. You always get more knowledge, and it will help you, but the habits are very, very important, which is another part I'm really trying to preach on the streams, because I can see a lot of people do crave knowledge, but and rightly so, but the habits is what you want to get unlocked first, because you can have all the knowledge you want, but if you don't have the habits in place, it's It's not gonna last. But yeah, appreciate it though. Yeah, guys, if you're enjoying the streams like FST live trading, feel free to drop a like and subscribe as well. Euros and pesos. Don't understand. Euros and pesos. Oh, you're talking about euro against the Mexican peso? Euro MXN? I don't think I've ever looked at Euro MXN before. But if you are, ask it. I will take a look. Poppy, I'm thinking about funding my Pepperstone account. It's nice to trade right out of TradingView. Yeah, I mean, I've never actually done that. I mean, I have paper traded on TradingView before. I haven't done that for a while, but yeah, it probably is nice to do on TradingView. I've never actually traded with live capital, so I don't know what TradingView is like in terms of executing trades and managing trades. I suppose can't be very bad at it, so I suppose it probably would be all right, but yeah, I don't really have much experience about placing trades on TradingView and managing it there. I've always used MT4 throughout all of my trading career, so yeah, that's what I'm comfortable at. But yeah, I suppose it would be quite handy. Analyze and take trades on the same platform makes it a lot easier, I suppose. But yeah, I'm not too sure. with TradingView. I'm quite comfortable with MT4, so that's what I'll be sticking with for now. Pound USD, we just had a look at Pound USD. No problem, Nike, happy to help. Can you please take a look at NZD CAD and UAD? Yeah, we'll take a look. Franz, NAS 100, we'll take a look too. UAD, we'll get to the motivated facts. What are you in or waiting for? I'm not in any trades currently. I got stopped out break even on ADUSD yesterday after the news gave us a big wick to the upside. So after the wick there, as you can see, just taking me out of the position. I'm not in any trades since then, but I am looking at Euro Yen though for some buys to the upside. This one's still kind of flirting with that support level. It's throwing some nice wicks into it. I'm liking the price action start to build up, testing into that 148,600 level. So I'm liking the way price is building up here. As you can see that shift in momentum to trigger me into the trade, and then I'll be looking for some longs. Say if you get a bullish engulfing like this, entry around there, stop loss around here, a few pips below, some wiggle room. Then yeah, looking for a push back to highs, 1 to 3, 1 to 4. Everything is looking pretty good. Take some profit coming back into some of these areas. Some support resistance there into that prior high. This could be the first place to take some partials. Maybe let the rest run back to the TP up there. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for Euro Yen. It's a decent opportunity. It's just a shame that we've got the interest rates coming out in like an hour and 45 minutes or an hour and a half. Otherwise, I'll be looking to get in as soon as we get the entry signal, which we still haven't got yet. So we still theoretically could break through. I mean, even with the entry signal, we could still break through. Nothing's 100%. But yeah, if you can get a nice bullish engulfing, that will be a nice entry signal. But I will be waiting for after the news before I do anything first. Anyway, so EURUD, we'll take a look and we'll move to NZD CAD. So EURUD, like I said, for this one's kind of the middle of nowhere. Buys look good down around 1.64, 1.635. Still seeing consistent high lows, 1, 2, 3, 4. The market's still comfortably bullish. If you look at the daily, the weekly, still showing a lot of signs of bullish momentum. So the buys still look good for this one, but at current price, I'm not really seeing much to do here right now. So I'm kind of holding back for EURUD. It's not really at a solid place for me to do anything, whether buying or selling. If you come down, then yeah, sure, buys look a lot better. But in this area, it's a little bit wishy-washy. So my kind of outlook for EURUD is stay patient. See if we can get another drive lower, coming back into the lows here, and then we can start looking for some buys. We might just continue up here. If that's the case, that's the case. Maybe there's something on the lower times for you. I'm not really looking at the lower time frames like that. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the current price action in this area. I'll be staying away from EURUD for now. And again, I'm not looking to sell the market either. It's still comfortably bullish. I need price to start breaking through some key lows first before I even think about looking to sell EURUD right now. So yeah, still bullish on this one. Expecting probably another swing back to highs. 1.675 or 1.68. NZD CAD we'll take a look at next, and we'll go into NAS as well. Motivated facts just joining, nice. Yeah, like I said, I'm not in anything at the moment. Waiting AUSD to retest 0.66666 and get into some buys and making sense. Okay, I'll take a look at AU. Currently, I'm still bearish on AUSD. But yeah, we'll take a look. Vivek, gold. We'll take a look at gold. I suppose gold's what you're talking about there. How about pound yen? Okay, I am afraid our stop loss will be huge in WJ, assume you mean, yeah, Euro Yen, because W is next to E on the keyboard. So yeah, Euro Yen and GJ, if it goes up right now, yeah, stop loss could be big, but again, it's all in proportion. You know, stop loss size doesn't really matter. It might mean you have to reduce your lot size, but unless your risk to reward is skewed, then yeah, maybe it's not a good trade. If you're normally taking 1 to 3s, 1 to 4s, it doesn't really matter if you got a 10 pip stop loss or a 30 pip stop loss. You know, if you still can get 1 to 3, 1 to 4, then the risk reward factor is still the same. But if the stop loss size is big enough that it makes your risk reward not what you want it to be, then yeah, then that is probably a bit of a problem. So unless the risk reward is skewed to a point where it's not really in the areas you want it to be, but if it still can be, then for me that's still a decent opportunity to take. Some stop losses are going to be bigger. Again, when you're using candlestick patterns to get into your trades, there's no way knowing how big the candlestick will be to get into the market. Sometimes you get a really big engulfing candle, and from my experience, from my research, back testing and trading live markets, it doesn't necessarily mean you know, big candles, big stop loss don't take the trade. For me, from testing, big candles, small candles, they both work equally as good. It's all about the kind of the setup that you're taking. But yeah, if there's a point where the risk reward is really skewed, then yeah, it's probably best not to take the trade then, because it doesn't really benefit you as much as you want it to if you do take the win, but you still take the same loss as well. But yeah, even if we do get a big news event, the market wicks down a little bit, we might have to get a bigger stop loss like this. As long as we can get like a 1 to 3 into the highs, you know, I'll still be happy with the position with Euro Yen. Or the market could just completely melt to the downside with Euro. You assume to see Euro strength, but the market isn't as always as you assume it to be. Anyway, so let me go take a look at was it NZD CAD? So yeah, NZD CAD's at an interesting little area here. This is the shorts I was talking about yesterday. Not really giving us an entry signal, I don't think. Or did it? Yeah, not really. The market's kind of consolidating, and then yeah, this was outside of session as well, coming to the end of the day. Market's now coming back into that same area. So if you can get a bearish engulfing here, that would be a nice entry signal to short and get into the trade, stop loss just above the highs, and then short back down to the low here. It's in a nice area of resistance, obviously coming into the higher time frame trend line as well. But quite frankly, I'm not really interested in the shorts right now. I'm personally looking at buys for NZD CAD. So you've got this big old impulse to the upside. I'm looking at this being the correction. I'm looking at getting another impulse to the upside back to the highs. So personally, for me, for NZD CAD, I'm seeing a big bullish flag. So I want to be looking to buy on this level here. But yeah, some sells could look good if you do get some good rejection, which we haven't really got yet. So need to stay patient for that. But are you looking to sell NZD CAD? Because if you are, it's at a nice place to do that. You just need to wait for a good shift of momentum and showing us a nice bearish engulfing. If you're looking to buy, then I'm looking at 0.84 down there, or possibly if we break through this here, retest of that area, could be a nice buy there too. So it's up to the market for this one. Either we pull back or we break through. 0.85 looks decent, but also so does 0.84 for that big bullish flag there, which is what I'm looking at on my weekly analysis as well. So yeah, quite a few opportunities there on NZD CAD. Just need to wait for them to develop. I'll go into NAS 100 next, and I'll take a look at GJ real quick and AUSD as well. As long as I'm confident, risk reward 1-to-1 is tolerable. Okay. Again, it's up to you how you want to manage your business, so to speak, because at the same time, for me, if the risk reward's 1-to-1, I wouldn't take the trade because it's lower. Obviously, you can still profit on the trade with that 1-to-1, but in general, if I take 100 trades and they're all 1-to-3 risk reward, let's say I don't take partials, if they're all 1-to-3, that means my cap of profit I can make would be 300 times my risk. So if I take 100 trades and they all hit TP, and I risk 1% for all of them, that means the most I can make is 300%. The most I can lose as well, if I take 100 trades and they all lose 1%, then I'll lose 100%. So I could possibly gain 300% if I win all of them, but if I lose all of them, I can possibly lose 100%. If I say, half those trades, 50 of those trades are not 1-to-3 and they're 1-to-1, then the cap of much that I can make on those 100 trades is then reduced. So the profitability of the efficiency of my business is at a lower cap, if you catch my drift. But if I consistently wait and take 1-to-3s, there's always going to be that possibility for me to make 300%. Obviously, I won't win all 100 trades, but that possibility is still higher. But if I reduce it to a 1-to-1 in some trades, then my cap is a lot lower, if you understand what I'm talking about. Not that you can't get that 1-to-1, but I would prefer just to wait for the 1-to-3. And again, other people take different trades. Some people, only take 1-to-1s, but they have a much higher risk reward. Some people take 1-to-5s, 1-to-8s, and 1-to-whatevers, but I have a much lower win rate as well. But that's kind of my thought process behind it, and why I try to keep my risk rewards at least around 1-to-2.5, 1-to-3, maybe 1-to-4. Sometimes they are a little bit bigger, like AUSD was a 1-to-5, and USDJPY last week was I think it was a 1-to-4 last week. My entry is around there. So yeah, it was around a 1-to-4, but normally it's around 1-to-3. Anyway, so what I was going to look at, NAS 100. Okay, so that's US 500, US 100. Okay, so US 100. So all the indices, or at least the major indices for US, are fairly similar. US 100, US 30, US 500, very similar. So US 500, this is what the analysis was, and sort of the same thing for US 100 as well. The market has rejected the highs here. I'm kind of looking at this being just a big consolidation, really, because the market's rejected the highs 3 times, rejected the support a few times as well, and essentially we've had a bit of a fake out to the upside there. Failed to follow through. Market came up, retested some structure here. Change that back. Retested some nice structure there, and obviously that was coming from the news as well. Nice sharp move to the downside, and since then we've cleared out, create some new lows, and yeah, we're retracing. So if we can get another pop to the upside, retest some structure, I do think we can see another push to the downside. Again, we're getting some nice lower highs now. 1, 2, possibly 3, and then see that next leg roll over. We could possibly just roll over right now, but I would like to see us pull back a little bit higher first, and then take this short next to US 100 to the downside. So yeah, that's kind of the best opportunity I see. Right, it's kind of trading within the consolidation. So overall, I'm not over the moon with this setup here, but it's not bad because we are seeing some really good momentum to the downside. I think I'd probably prefer US 500 because it's got a bit more of a trend to it than US 100. This one's a little bit more choppy, so you might have a little bit more success with this one if it does come up, though, because it looks like it's rolling over right now. But if it does come up, US 100 looks a little bit cleaner to me. But they're pretty much the same type of markets. If one's going to move, have a big move down, most likely they're all going to have a big move down unless something on an individual fundamental thing happens. But from a technical perspective, they kind of do the exact same thing. So yeah, expect some sells in the lower time frames. 4H, I'm not really too bothered with US 100. This is all consolidation to me. So everything in here from a 4H perspective, I'm kind of disregarding and waiting for the breakout to get more confirmed bias. So yeah, most of the major indices right now, US 30 as well, kind of quite choppy here. I'm waiting for us to start breaking out of some consolidation. US 500 to very, very choppy in this area. If you start breaking through the lows here, things get very interesting. But we've got a lot of work to do before we do that. Okay, so I hope that made sense. I'll take a look at AUSD and pound yen next. I'll go over gold as well. Look at US 30, it's in a big demand zone. Okay, we'll take a look too. To be fair, 1-to-1 is normally on the shorter time frames. Okay, yeah, I mean scalping's different. Scalping, you particularly don't want to hold your trades for too long as well. You want to be in and out of your profit. EuroCAD, okay, we'll take a look at EuroCAD too. You think about re-entering AUSD? Not really. I don't really like the price action of AU. Like I said, it hasn't really broken through. Let me just move this out of the way. It hasn't really broken through the resistance yet. So technically speaking, thank you so much, Hamilton, for subscribing. If you guys are joining the channel, please be sure to subscribe, by the way. But yeah, we haven't really broken through anything structurally, so we are still seeing 1, 2, 3 lower highs, possibly could roll over back to support. Kind of got a bit of like a bowl shape going on here, going from gradually making higher highs to equal highs to lower highs. So yeah, I would expect to see a push back down to the support level here for AUSD. Again, the price action right now is very, very messy. It's kind of just consolidating left and right here. And it's not really giving me much confidence to jump into the trade. This was a really good opportunity. Had a big impulse to the upside, shorten that impulse back down again. But now it's kind of wishy-washy. Maybe if you come in for the double top, at the high there, given another bearish engulfing, we have a much safer stop loss around here, and then probably consider looking to get back in some shorts that way. So yeah, maybe from that perspective, but quite frankly, this consolidation I don't really want to jump into. It's just a little bit too messy for me. So yeah, no, I don't really want to get back involved. Maybe if it develops, like I said, to that double top, I'll consider it. But my main focus is looking at some of the yen pairs, euro yen, hoping to get moved to the upside, pound yen, if we can come a little bit deeper as well. That one looks good too. So yeah, it's not at the top of my watch list, but I will consider it if it does form that double top. Okay, so yeah, so you said you're looking at buying AUC at 0.666 against the buys 0.666. Let me go into low time frames. 666. You're looking at buying here. Not bad because there's a bit of a bullish structure to it. Obviously, we've got some bullish structure here, higher highs, higher lows. This might be just a big development and consolidation for a bigger impulse higher. Yeah, it's just a little bit choppy though. Higher time frames still got this bearish trend as well, so it contradicts that. Again, you predominantly want to be in line for your higher time frames rather than against it. So it's not a bad opportunity, but it lacks a bit of confidence to me. And again, when I'm looking at lower time frames, hourly and below, I do want it to be in the same direction as 4H or the daily at least. For me to speak highly of it, but right now with the consolidation, sure we might get a bounce at this support level, but it goes against this trend here and this kind of bowl shape pattern which is developing. So again, if you've got a plan in place, don't let me try and skew that plan up and your trade sequence. But if you ask my genuine opinion, I'm not a big fan of the opportunity. Not that it won't play out, but it lacks confidence with the higher time frame, and that's a big factor when you are trading on the lower time frames. Pound yen gold, take a look at. So yeah, pound yen, like I said, is looking really good for some buys, just not an area of interest. It needs to drop a little bit low into 167.800 for me to look at longs up here. It might start going up, but I'm just not interested in that. I need price to work its way down a little bit further. 167.832 is looking good, and from there I do think we can get a solid bounce to the upside and see an attack at the highs there again. Essentially the same as euro yen, just waiting for, you know, price to get to that area. So there's not much to say for pound yen. You know, if I wasn't streaming right now, I'll give one look to pound yen, map up my areas of interest, you know, look at the higher time frames, and then I'll walk away, probably just leave an alert here, because still got a long way to go. We might not even get to this level by the end of the day or the end of next week as well. Maybe it's a trade for us for next week. We'll have to see what happens with NFP, to be fair. But it's a decent opportunity, just not at a good area. And gold, buys look good for gold. Buys look gold. I mean, they are golden, to be fair. But yeah, consolidation there, coming to that into that area, that consolidation. If you can see some good rejection around there, I'm looking at another bullish way to the upside for some new all-time highs on Rwanda. But yeah, just more continuation to the upside for gold, really. Really nice impulse. I'm looking at this bearish move as just retracement. It might head to the upside from here. It's not really testing any key areas that I can see. Possibly, yeah, this consolidation here, big move up, kind of testing that area there. But this is more of like a lower time frame trade, 30-minute, 15-minute area. For me, I'm looking at the consolidation there at 2019. So yeah, gold, I want to see a little bit more downside. And I'm looking at the follow through to the upside there. EuroCAD we'll take a look at next as well. And I'll go over oil too. Free Boy asked my opinion on oil. We'll take a look. EuroCAD and oil. I used to trade oil on a 10-minute with 1-to-1 on longer time frame. I wouldn't risk 1-to-1. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, low time frames, you know, especially scalping, you want to be in for a quick time. You know, 1-to-1s, 1-to-2s, take what you need and run sort of thing. But yeah, as a predominantly, you know, swing intraweek trader, on look for, you know, roughly around a 1-to-3, 1-to-4. But yeah, EuroCAD we'll take a look at, and then move on to oil. Hello sir, will today's news cause a lot of volatility? For euro, I would expect to. For dollar, probably as well. We've got some jobless claims at 130. Let me just double check that. Yeah, 130. So yeah, we've got some dollar news at 130 as well. And yeah, the interest rate decision, I do expect to see some fireworks. How much, I'm not too sure. It could be a little bit, could be a lot. We could see price really flying 100, 200 pips, to be fair. Or it could just be like an odd 50 pips. We'll see what happens when it comes out. But yeah, I do expect to see some volatility. So manage your risk wisely. Certainly if you're in euro pairs and any dollar pairs as well, to be fair. Just in general, to be fair. Even when there's a big announcement and it doesn't directly affect your pair you're trading, you know, any kind of big interest rate decision, it's fairly important just to manage your risk and make sure that you're aware of the situation. And definitely for NFP tomorrow. But yeah, EuroCAD, we'll take a look at that guy. Where's EuroCAD? There you are. So EuroCAD, yeah, pretty bullish. Nothing to do really. Back at highs, not looking to sell. Might see some resistance there, might see some downside, but this doesn't interest me whatsoever. The market is still comfortably very bullish, pushing to the upside. You know, the opportunities that I want to be looking at, you know, are these opportunities here as price comes down, these opportunities here. Yeah, not that we will catch all of them, but when the market's pulling back, you know, this is where I want to be looking to place my trades, not at the highs, you know, here. These are not really my type of trades that I'm looking for. It would be nice if this one came down a little bit further and tested this area, but it didn't, and it's seen some upside since then. So yeah, EuroCAD back to resistance, might see some retracement, but yeah, I want price to create some new highs and then have its next pullback down again. This looks like a decent little area here as well. As you can see, big impulse to the downside there. Market quickly just reversed that back up again, so it tells me that 1.495 is a decent level to buy from as well for EuroCAD. So yeah, EuroCAD, you have to wait patiently. You might see some downside from here, but it's nothing that that looks remotely good or remotely fits my plan. So that's some resistance. I suppose that's probably why you're interested in EuroCAD. Of course, we've got a plan in place, trade the plan and everything. But for me, I'll be staying away and waiting for some more development there for EuroCAD. We'll take a look at oil next as well. We're coming to the end of the stream, so I will go through a few more pairs, but I will be live again later today with Trader Nick and A1 Trading on their channel. I think they'll be covering the interest rate decision news on their channel, and then shortly after, your boy will be there to give some updates on what I'm thinking as well. So yeah, make sure you go check that out. I will leave a link to their stream in my Telegram channel when I come live. So make sure you're in the Telegram channel so you don't miss out on the stream. But yeah, I'll go through some more pairs quickly. I'll take a look at oil. I'll take a look at Aussie Swiss as well. Eric Pound Yen cannot rally 1700 pips from 1.5538 lows and only retrace 200 pips, let alone 400 pips. There's some serious retracement incoming before trend resumes for the yen pairs. Could be. I understand what you mean. We've had a crazy move, and normally the market is normally proportionate to its move, so the retracement should cover most of it. But there are some times where price just absolutely flies and just doesn't have sustainable retracement. I mean, if you look at USD JPY, across 2022, pretty much we had so much unsustainable, and pretty much most yen pairs across 2022, we had so much unsustainable impulse and moves for those pairs. If I go take a look at dollar yen on the 4H time frame, we had so much unsustainable moves to the upside for this one. This move here is very, very impulsive. Didn't see any remote retracement until we had this chaotic move up there. This is a humongous move, and the retracement was only very slight as well. So sometimes the market is just lacks proportionality. Again, here, very, very impulsive, not really giving us a proportionate retracement move. You only start seeing proportionate retracement moves until we started getting this price action. Then there again, sort of, and then we had this kind of big sell-off. The market ran again, so we weren't really seeing much sustainability in price, to be honest. So, yeah, sometimes I do agree with you. We do normally see proportionate pullbacks for bigger moves, but sometimes we don't. And normally it's when the fundamentals are really stepping into the market. That's normally when we get kind of disproportionate moves. But pound yen, I'm going to be buying here. I'm a technical trader, so if I do get a good setup here, I will be looking to buy pound yen from there. Whether it fails or not, it's the setup that I'm liking. Anyway, so let me go through Aussie Swiss and oil, and we'll wrap it up there. Okay, so oil spiked to the downside, didn't it? Yeah, huge spike, new lows. Yeah, there's nothing really to do with oil. This price action is quite chaotic. I would be bearish, so if the market can pull back, yeah, shorts look pretty good coming to some of these areas here. That was a nice short consolidation, big explosion to the downside. 71.55, the retest here, 74.20, looks good to short. But anything here, I'd stay away. I would not be looking to buy the market either. Yeah, sell's your best bet, and you need price to retrace a lot more before looking to get involved. Yeah, oil's just a bit of a weird one. Big spike there into the support level. We might just go and fill the wick. We might see a big move up now. Yeah, oil's a little bit weird. But nonetheless, those are solid levels, solid technical levels to look to trade from. So keep an eye out if you get a retest of those areas. And Aussie Swiss as well. This one's particularly still very bearish. It's still trading at some key support. So again, I'm not really looking to get involved with ADCHF right now. I'm still looking for us to go and see some new all-time lows below this area. Excuse me. But we need to wait for price to retrace higher or break through, essentially. And I'm not really looking to do anything here. The market for me is still very, very bearish, still giving us successive lower lows and lower highs. So I'm just waiting for some big pullbacks to short it back down again. This is buy territory, bull territory. So I'll be backing away until we can get a convincing break or a convincing pullback. And then, shorting down and then shorting down again. All-time lows is the destination for me for Aussie Swiss and a lot of the Swiss pairs as well. But yeah, guys, we have come to the end of the stream. Thank you so much for sticking through and learning a little bit and having some fun, or a bit both, or maybe neither. I'm not too sure where you stayed then, but yeah, guys, thank you so much for liking the stream. If you haven't liked the stream as well, make sure you do go and like the stream as well, and drop a subscription if you want to see more of the content on the channel. Hit the bell as well if you don't want to miss out any uploads in the future. Like I said, I will be going live with Trading Nick and A1 Trading shortly, in about 2 hours time. So if you guys are free, feel free to pop into that stream as well, and I'll quickly run through some things I'm looking at. Maybe we can get a trade set up on Euro Yen, so I will be giving you guys an updated viewpoint on my stance on Euro Yen. I'm still looking for buys. As you can see, still no entry confirmation there, so it's still a little bit too early for me to do anything here for Euro Yen, but nonetheless, it's still on the watch list. Still be looking to take some buys if you can get some good price action after the news is released. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for coming to the stream. Much appreciated, guys. Thank you to my moderators as well. Really do appreciate all the kind words that you guys leave as well. We'll be coming out with a lot more streams and content in the future. So yeah, guys, stay safe. Watch out for the news. Take care.
Wow.